1. Types of fire extinguishers and classes of fire. Types of fire extinguishers: 1. Water, 2. Foam, 3. Dry powder, 4. CO2, carbon dioxide, 5. Wet chemical. Classes of fire: Class A, ordinary combustibles, wood, paper, cloth. Use water, foam, dry powder, or wet chemical. Class B, flammable liquids, petrol, oil. Use foam, dry powder, or CO2. Class C, flammable gases, propane, butane. Use dry powder. Class D, flammable metals, magnesium, aluminum. Use specialized dry powder. Class E, electrical fires. Use CO2 or dry powder. Class F, cooking oils and fats. Use wet chemical. How many types of PTW permit to work and their checkpoints with relevant hazards? Types of PTW: 1. Hot work permit, 2. Cold work permit, 3. Confined space entry permit, 4. Electrical work permit, 5. Excavation permit. Checkpoints with relevant hazards: hot work permit. Checkpoints: fire safety, availability of fire extinguisher, gas detection, use of fire retardant materials. Hazards: fire, explosion. Cold work permit: safety of tools, PPE, hazard identification. Hazards: mechanical injury, exposure to hazardous substances. Confined space entry permit: checkpoints. Gas testing, ventilation, emergency procedures, PPE. Hazards: oxygen deficiency, toxic gases, entrapment. Electrical work permit: checkpoints, lockout, tagout, isolation procedures, use of insulated tools. Hazards: electric shock, arc flash. Excavation permit: checkpoints, underground utility detection, shoring, access, egress points. Hazards: cave-ins, utility strikes. Occupational hazards in the workplace: physical hazards, noise, vibration, temperature extremes, radiation. Chemical hazards: exposure to solvents, fumes, dust, gases. Biological hazards: bacteria, viruses, fungi, insects. Ergonomic hazards: repetitive strain, improper workstation setup. Psychosocial hazards: stress, violence, harassment. 4. Fire hydrant specifications and use. Specifications: standard pressure, typically 100 to 150 psi, 7 to 10 bar. Flow rate varies, but a typical requirement is 500 to 1,000 gallons per minute GPM. Use of fire hydrant steps: 1. Remove the cap. 2. Attach the hose to the hydrant. 3. Turn the valve to release water. 4. Aim the hose at the base of the fire. 5. Coordinate with firefighting teams. 5. Common hazards in construction sites: falls from height, electrical hazards, struck by incidents, caught in between, machinery, chemical exposure, noise and vibration. 6. UEL and LEL, upper and lower explosive limits and acceptance limit. UEL, upper explosive limit, maximum concentration of a vapor or gas in air above which it will not ignite. Varies by substance. LEL, lower explosive limit, minimum concentration of a vapor or gas in air below which it will not ignite. Varies by substance. Acceptance limit. Typically, work in areas where gas concentrations are below 10% of the LEL is considered safe. Half 7. Confined space hazards and entry procedure. Hazards: oxygen deficiency, toxic gases, flammable atmospheres, physical hazards, e.g. entrapment. Entry procedure: 1. Identify and evaluate hazards. 2. Ventilate the space. 3. Test the atmosphere for oxygen levels and toxic gases. 4. Implement lockout tagout if necessary. 5. Use appropriate PPE. 6. Ensure a rescue plan is in place. Responsibilities of watcher: monitor conditions inside and outside the space. Maintain communication with the entrant. Summon rescue services in an emergency. Prevent unauthorized entry. 8. AED and CPR. AED, automated external defibrillator, a device that analyzes the heart rhythm and delivers an electrical shock if necessary to restore a normal rhythm in the event of sudden cardiac arrest. Cardiopulmonary resuscitation, a life-saving technique used in emergencies when the heart stops, involving chest compressions and rescue breaths. NASHR 9, standard of safety helmet, safety shoe, and safety goggles. Safety helmet: compliance with standards like ANSI Z89.1, EN 397, impact resistance, penetration resistance, electrical insulation. Safety shoe: compliance with standards like ASTM F2413, EN ISO 2345, toe protection, puncture resistance, slip resistance. Safety goggles: compliance with standards like ANSI Z87.1, EN 166, impact resistance, protection against chemical splashes. 10. Common hazards in RMS, switchyard, and fuel gas compressor area. RMS, remote monitoring system, electrical hazards, data security. Switchyard, electrical shock, arc flash, falls from height. fuel gas compressor area, explosion, toxic gas release, noise. 11. Responsibilities of fire watcher and access controllers in commissioning zone. Fire watcher. Monitor hot work areas for signs of fire. Ensure fire extinguishing equipment is available. Maintain vigilance for 30 minutes after hot work is completed. Access controllers. Manage entry and exit of personnel. Ensure only authorized personnel enter. Maintain logs of entry and exit. Ensure safety protocols are followed.